You ready, Odie? You ready? Are you ready? All right, let's go. Oh my goodness. We have a lot to discuss. Look at this. It's just to the brim. Look, this is my roof line. Yeah, so anyway, that's happening. But in more positive news, look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a very thin, and I mean thin. Gotta adjust, you guys. Very, very thin turtleneck. Odie is still sporting. What are you sporting? You are still sporting your outfit. He's so casual always with what he's wearing. Come on, Odie. Let's go. Hello, welcome back. I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in forever. Lots and lots to discuss. I haven't really dumped my brain on pages. I have been doing my morning pages, but I didn't really schedule this talk as much as I maybe should have in terms of scheduling it in my head. So hello, I'm back home, and lots of things have happened. First and foremost, we had a huge snap of cold. It was like minus 30 up here in this beautiful forest, and now it's, I think, plus 6. And it was really cold down south. There was a lot of stuff that happened down south. Like, I got a lot of stuff done. I got all of my passport stuff done, and I got all of my banking out of the way and all of my things with my accountant out of the way. It was so nice to see him, by the way. Anyways, look at this guy. He's so happy. So happy. I'm so happy to be back. But at the same time, it was kind of nice to be in sort of the hustle and bustle of the city, but I knew there was an end. It's kind of like when I go to Europe. When I go to Europe, I'm so happy to be in Europe, but I don't think I could live there like forever. So it was kind of like that. I was so happy to be back there, but I was so happy to be going home. And actually the drive, let me just tell you all, the drive was amazing. It was great because usually 100% of the time, my husband drives. Okay. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys. I wanted to talk to you guys about when I was kind of doing my morning pages, and the last 3 days has been, I got this in the south. Squirrel, isn't this such a cute outfit? About gender roles because of my stay down south. But before we get to that, very quickly, today I want to pay a very special tribute to a dear human being in the world. His name is Alan Watt. As you know, you guys all know about Alan Watt because he really is a huge part of my life, even though he didn't know he was a huge part of my life. I listened to him for over 20 years, and I've got to tell you, I am here, because of him. And now I need to pay respects to that man because he dedicated his life to educating people that were willing to listen. I was one of his disciples, maybe, or one of his pupils, or one of his, I don't want to say protege, because I think protege kind of implies that I actually am trying to work towards his smartness. And even if I was trying to work towards his smartness, there's just not enough years for me to get there, because he was just, oh my God, so smart, so well read, so well spoken. And to, remember him on today's date specifically. Today is March 4th as I'm recording this video. You guys will not see it for many weeks ahead because I'm weeks ahead in terms of my posting. And that will change in when I do a podcast, because when I do a podcast, it'll be sort of next day. Whereas this is more meanderings and thinking and having a discussion, opening the platform to discuss things with you guys. You know, my meandering thoughts and sort of feeling around the world. So it's not relevant as much in terms of time. I don't have to put it out, you know, as the tariffs come in. So today, actually, which is so ironically funny and not funny, haha funny, but just irony, Alan told us that this was going to happen. All of it. I mean, all of it. Everything from the jibber jabs to the AI to the technocracy to that this was going to happen economically over 20 years ago, mind you. I will tell you that. But today, March 4th, which is what day it is today, he passed. And I don't know, today I'm taking it very slow. I'm thinking of him often today, more than usual. And I just wanted to pay respects to a man that had an effect on so many people that he had no idea he had. But I know that he believed that whoever was ready for the information that he was imparting, he would help them. And he was by far one of the most integral human beings in my life outside of my direct parents. He changed my life. He changed the course of my children's life because he changed my course quite dramatically. He changed the course of my parents' life. He changed the course of a lot of people's lives. And I'm just so grateful because his widow, Melissa, is still maintaining his website. She's kind of taking his talks and in a very creative way, breaking them apart and bringing out the relevant things that he was saying 20, 30 years ago and bringing them right now to show how, what is the word, prescient? No, how he wasn't a future teller, but he was someone that understood the world as it is. Anyway, that's the longest introduction, and I'm sorry. No, maybe it's not even the longest introduction. But anyway, so beautiful out here. It's not sunny, but it is so warm. Everything is melting, like all the snow is becoming packing snow. And Odie, don't go too far. Come on. And as I'm thinking about Alan, I was thinking about my visit down south and how crazy it's become. It's become even crazier when you're completely disconnected from the city. You realize how crazy everything is. Come on, Odie. And while I was down south, I had the privilege of being on vacation. I felt like I was on vacation. Even though I wasn't there for vacation, I was there literally to do year-end and T4s and all of these kind of things. T4s are like the end of the year tax forms that you have to do. And because I needed to do that, my accountant wanted to get it done within a certain amount of time because, you know, the legal mafia will come after you if you don't get the timeline straight. They'll find a reason why, you know, you've mislocated or misfiled something, one piece of paper or $5, but they are allowed to squander billions because that is what we allow them to do. Let's face it, that's what we do. So I was down there for work. But I realized that my mom was like the wife of the house. And even though, you know, I helped out with, you know, the menial tasks of maybe washing the dishes or helping put things away or, you know, helping with whatever it is that she wanted me to do as a sous chef or a sous assistant in the kitchen, for the most part, my laundry was cleaned and put on my bed. when I didn't do it. Dinner was made when I didn't do it. House was clean when I didn't do it. And I thought to myself, these days, trigger alert, if you are easily triggered, you should get off this exit. But if you can handle some constructive thinking, some thorny thoughts, then here goes. I believe that men and women are really designed primarily, for the most part. There are exceptions. I want you to hear that. There are exceptions. There are some women that are more manly, more masculine than some men. And the vice versa is also true. There are many men that are more feminine than some women. So I was thinking to myself about gender roles and what they have done to the gender roles these days. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Oh, here's my husband. He's doing, come on. He's doing my walkways because it's getting hard to walk on this and I'm going to make it hard. Anyway, so basically, I thought to myself, I didn't have, because I know traditional wives are very in style now. The traditional wives that look like traditional Hollywood wives, not traditional wives, but traditional Hollywood wives. The glamorized version of what Hollywood presented. And now people are making money as trad wives, as they're called. And that's all great, because anything that shifts back to more of an equilibrium where families are the center of our ecosystem is healthier. But this version of trad wives, when you have a woman that's got lips that came from this surgeon and eyebrows that came from that surgeon, and she's wearing couture outfits with her nipples standing out and holding it as a rack, that's not trad wives. That's not traditional wives. That's a trad wife. That's a completely different, that's like the difference between woke and awake. But I'm talking, did you fart? Holy! I think my dog farted. That was raunchy. Odie! But when I was thinking about this I was thinking that what has happened now to traditional roles as our genders would permit, or as we naturally fall into certain gender roles, they have been so completely and utterly dismantled that we're at a point where women are doing manly duties that we're not designed for. Like, for example, we as women are not designed to be picking up heavy things for all of the time that we're alive. Men can have a heavy lifting job until they're, say, 60 or 65, and their body can handle it. A woman's body goes through severe changes when going through a menstrual cycle, when having children. Your body completely gets reshuffled through the act of birthing, because everything changes in your body when you have a child. Trust me, try it and you'll see. Some women have lost teeth as a result of childbearing. Some women have died as a result of childbearing. It is not an endeavor for the faint of heart. So that's probably, spoiler alert, why we have less and less children being born, especially amongst the very woke class. And that doesn't matter what race, as long as they're woke, they believe in these kind of nonsensical things. Then there's these things about genders. Well, I just have one question. If there's 57 genders, with all due respect, this isn't making fun, but I just have a very serious question. When you go to the operating table to change the genders, what options do you have? Do you have 57 options? Or do you just have two? Because as far as I know, I don't think anybody's come out there with like 18 legs and they were some sort of, I don't know, I don't even know the names are. So with all due respect, I'm sorry, I don't keep up with it. I'm too old for that. But back to the roles, I thought to myself, wow, it's so nice to have a wife for a week. Because when I think back when my cousin was alive, me and her were traditional wives. And we didn't mind. And I think part of the fact that we were together, we had company. I was peeling the potatoes. She was, doing the meat preparation and the salad preparation. And we were talking, and it was very traditional. And we didn't even realize we had fallen into traditional roles. And lots and lots of women are career women. They make more money than their husband, and then their husband takes that role. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. But what I am saying is that neutralizing men and women to equalize them on the same plane is a devastating thing for the society. That's my argument. My argument is that if women don't start falling into roles that are more natural to them, and if they sit there and they start yelling and screaming that they can do what men can, of course you can, ladies. And of course men can do what women can do. But that's not the question. The question isn't whether or not a man and woman can exchange roles or whether they can do each other's roles. The question is it sustainable? We talk so much about sustainability. We talk about environment sustainability. We talk about, what is it called? Equality sustainability. To be equal with a man is not sustainable. Let me give you an example. So for example, if you're a woman who's just had a child, and let's just say this was 100 years ago. 100 years ago, if you had a child and you were in a marriage with a man and it was winter, there was something that broke on the house outside, and it was integral that you needed to go and get it fixed in order for you not to have problems surviving in your home. Do you think that being a woman and being a man, if the woman goes out and fixes it, say for 8 hours or 6 hours or 4 hours even, do you think that that's sustainable as the baby is just an infant? No, it's not. And that is by design, through nature, not through us. We do not dictate everything, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels. We do not get a say in every aspect of our life. We simply have a say in every decision we choose in respect to what cards are dealt to us. If you were born a woman, chances are that you, out of the two of you, if you decide to have a man-woman relationship, chances are you will be responsible for bearing the child. Not because you chose it that way. Hi, you getting a drink? You getting a drink? You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Not because you chose that you won some sort of lottery or you guys had to talk about it, but because that's the way that things were built. And there isn't really much of a discussion in the matter. And I do believe that we have swung so far out to the pendulum and we've become so offended with being a woman, and then as a result, you should stay home and raise the children because you shouldn't be sending your child. And I made these mistakes. And now looking back at these mistakes, I'm like, wow, if I had someone to tell me that this is, not the right way, would I believe it? Probably not. I probably wouldn't believe it. But there are people that are smarter than me. There are women and men that are much smarter than me, that are able to look at some logical advice and they're able to say, yeah, that makes sense. Tell me, the amount of children that are having mental problems, that are having anxieties, that are having problems being bullied or being the bully, that is a direct result of the fact that we have lost sight of the fact that each of us has different skills and different positioning in life. Like a man historically is not the one that goes to the scraped boo-boo knee. Okay, it's the woman generally. And not because they're like, okay, you go this time and I'll go next time. No, it's usually not like that. Usually a child goes to the mother, generally, unless there's some sort of different circumstances. But for the most part, it's the mother that runs to the child when the child falls off the bike, when they scrape their knee. That is just the way that nature has sort of created us. And we are all, and it's funny because we can understand that in dogs, like we can understand the mentality of a dog, or sort of the natural ebb and flow of a dog or of a cat. Like we don't push cats to take baths just because we humans think it's the best thing to do. But yet with humans, we change our nature instead of accepting that we are different, accepting that our differences together make us stronger. And that's what I was thinking about when I was at my mom's house, because I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it was so nice to have a wife again, because I had a wife. I had a wife and I had a husband. My cousin was like my wife. I confided in her, she confided in me. We cooked, we cleaned, we did things together as women. It was like a village, really. It was really quite lovely. And it was 20 years of that. And my husband got the benefit of having an in-house best friend who was my cousin, and a wife who was me. And he really, really got a really great experience with two women. Like, he had magic underwear because his drawer was always full of clean clothes. Like this week I come home and I had done laundry before I left, and I just left it for drying. And then this morning I went into the drawer and oh my God, I had a clean underwear. And I'm like, I was wondering if my mom did that. Like, did she already do my laundry in my house? Because she came down for the couple of weeks. And my husband's like, no, oh, you have a magic drawer today. Because I laugh that when I do laundry, it's magic, right? And he's like, no, I folded the laundry and I put it in. But again, it was such a shock because I realized I have taken the role fully and wholeheartedly, and I have embraced it. I've embraced it and I feel good about it. And I feel that when society doesn't make me feel less than because I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm taking care of my tribe, and it's not frowned upon, because that's what it was. It was frowned upon. It's frowned upon, and women are made to feel like they have to somehow be the breadwinners. Somehow they have to be like, oh, here's my husband doing my, look at that. He's so good. See, he's being the man. Of course, I can do it as well. But I choose not to, because a man, I believe, needs to be needed, needs to be the man. Like, and I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way, but a man needs to feel like he has a purpose. A man with a purpose is a man who's a good father, who's a good husband, and who can you can depend on. Sorry, it's probably loud because he's doing my, come on, Odie. He's doing my, look at that. Isn't this beautiful? Look at that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So that's what I was thinking when I was writing. And I honestly didn't, I'm sorry that it's a little bit more meandering than usual, but I haven't really done any talks. I haven't gone for a walk like this in about, well, I would say 5 days now. And it's weird because I got out of the habit, and even my thinking out loud feels a little bit stale. Not stale, maybe that's not the word. A little bit, well, just rusty, maybe rusty. So that's what I was thinking, and I thought, what do you guys think about this? Do you think that we need to start looking at women and men that want to be more traditional in their roles? And do you believe that as a society in general, that it is healthier for men and women to know, not to be forced? I'm not saying let's be forced. If somebody has a situation where they prefer to be a mechanic and they're a woman, all the power to you. All the power to you. then hopefully you find a spouse that's more feminine, that prefers to spend time with the children, that prefers to go to the PTA meetings, to go and, what are you doing? What are you doing? Silly boy. That prefers to go to dates with their children's friends, that prefers to pack the lunches, that prefers to do the more family-oriented things. Or the mechanic also prefers to do the same and be part of that, and they split everything 50-50. I think my point is that we as women and men have to find our natural groove instead of being told by the system, oh no, we should be equal. You should never tell a woman that she should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant. That's just rude. It's got nothing to do with your duty as a woman or your duty as a man. And I always used to say to any young people that I would talk to that are like entering dating and all of that, I always tell the girls and the boys, the man's function is to be the pot. The woman's function is to be the flower in that pot, because flowers procreate seeds and the pots protect the flower and the seeds. And that's kind of the moral of my argument, is that a man has historically and naturally, through nature, through the laws of nature, has been the protector, has been the strength of the family in terms of physical strength. And the woman has always been the psychological and the spiritual, the warmth of the family, and the carrier, the dolly, the person that brings new life into the world. She brings it in, the man helps secure that it survives, that both of them survive. So if you disagree with me, I'd like to hear why. And I would say that not everybody has to be put into this box, just like anything else. But I would say society as a whole, my argument is that if we each enjoy our natural roles in the world, not in society, because societies are designed, scheduled, programmed, and pushed by people that own us. But I'm talking about nature. If we were in this forest, what would make the most sense in order for us to be able to procreate and thrive in this natural environment? Because ultimately, anything built above and beyond this that's not natural isn't sustainable. That's my argument. And so having this break from being a traditional wife gave me a real, reinforcement of the importance of my role, the importance of me feeding my family, clothing my family, keeping the environment for the family warm and clean. It really emphasized how important my role is, even though it has been devalued by society means or society standards. Anyway, I want to let you guys know that I am wearing, look, I'm not even cold. It's so wonderful. I'm wondering if this is like the end of the season. We're supposed to get 30 centimeters of snow. Today, first day of tariffs, just so you guys know. America has decided, well, not America, the government of allegedly under Trump has decided that we are going to be implementing the war tax, which is tariffs on Mexico and Canada. I really don't know. I haven't really looked into China, but I think that it was supposed to be 10%. And so here we go. Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride, everybody. And I really, really hope that this isn't really the beginning of what I've kind of been warning people about for years. And what Alan's been warning people about for years. Because Alan has really been the foreseer of everything that's coming down right now. Anyways, I hope that wherever you are, it is at least as warm as it is here today. And hopefully it's more sunny. My roosters are calling for me. I've got to check. Oh my girls, I'm getting 20 eggs a day. It's so wonderful. Oh my gosh. And all different colors. I've got green, I've got brown, I've got pink, I've got white, I've got dark brown, and I have blue. So, oh my God, so exciting. All right, well, that's it. I think that I've over talked as usual, but hopefully someone is wanting to have a discussion about some of these things, because I do think it's really important that we discuss these things as always. And if you have a moment and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing and or giving me a thumbs up, because, well, we're going into hard times and I think we all need to stick together now more than ever. And as the days and years progress forward and Trump moves closer and closer to the agenda, which he is rolling out rather quickly, and ironically, everybody seems to be okay with it, which is the point I kind of made. He kind of made everybody trust him, and now everybody's going for it. But anyway, gotta go. I will talk to you soon. Look at you. You're such a cute boy. Look at him. Such a good boy. Anyways, I'll talk to you soon. Love y'all. Mwah.